Hello, travel lovers! Today we are going to take a walk on Red Square, a historical symbol of Moscow. Friends, tonight we had snow and sunshine. Super weather. There was one thought, I wanted to go by car, but now I'm very lazy to clean it, so I will go by subway. Take a look. Wow, really? I'm going to take the subway, because I don't really want to clean the car. While I'm walking to the subway, I decided not to take the bus. I'd rather walk. It's good for my health. Now I will tell you about the weather in Moscow in winter. In Moscow the weather is not unequivocal. There are snowfalls, sometimes it's dry, warm, 0 degrees. Well, relatively warm for Russia. Because I'm from Russia, it's not cold for me. It's snowing now, but it's nice enough. I'm very glad because everything is beautiful. I have a feeling of New Year's Eve. Although, guys, I was wrong. Now I'm shooting a video for you and feel my hand freezes. By the way, there is a chick walking ahead, probably also goes to the subway. Maybe I should get acquainted with her and invite her to go to Red Square with me. What do you think? Here she comes. I have to walk quietly so she doesn't notice. In a fur coat, beautiful Russian clothes. It is such a lovely view. It's an ordinary dormitory district. Look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful it is. Snow is very beautiful. I actually really love the sun, I really love summer, but when it's the same weather, in my opinion, it's boring. Yes, it's very boring. So when there is a change of weather, especially, can you just imagine a Christmas tree, snow, a house, a fireplace? It's very cool. And so, friends, I keep trying to meet this girl, but for some reason she doesn't want to come over. Hey girl! Hey girl, why are you running so fast? Let's go together. This is a kindergarten. No, that was a school. Now we're going through the school, see how big it is? It's big enough. Russia has a very well-developed infrastructure, schools and education. There are really very good schools here, a high level of education. So now I'm entering the famous Moscow subway. I'll take a separate issue about the subway because that's another story. You can pay for a ride on the subway with a bank card at the turnstiles, or you can buy trips separately, or you can buy a Troika card. This is a card where you are given a season ticket for a month, or for 2 days, or for 3 days. Yeah, and that's much cheaper than buying a ticket for one trip. You can rent this card, just pay for it, and take as many rides as you need. For example, you need it for 3 days. Do you see? Now I choose either a day or 3 days. I have chosen for 3 days and it costs $7. I have paid with my bank card and for 3 days without limit I can ride on the routes of this map. The Moscow subway is one of the largest and most grandiose in the world. You can go anywhere in Moscow without using ground transport. Here in the subway cars there are all the amenities. For example, you can charge your cell phone. Free Wi-Fi so that you could use the internet because the mobile network at such a depth doesn't catch. Very handy layout and station indicator, and of course station announcements in different languages. I decided to get off at this station because it's unrealistically beautiful. Just to look, everything in red shades looks very good. Just got out and interrupted my traffic to appreciate it. After appreciating all the beauty, I went on to the Kremlin. After arriving at the final station, I couldn't help but walk up to these sculptures. Do you see? This part is more golden than the rest of the sculpture, because they are constantly being rubbed for good luck. So, friends, this is the Revolution Station. Here, by stroking the sculpture, you can make a wish. Now I stroke the rooster, made a wish, and it's sure to come true. The subway is so convenient, I never cease to be amazed. From the outskirts of the city to the center to the Kremlin. Despite the fact that Moscow is the sixth largest city in the world by area, I got there quickly. It takes me just a little bit, about 10 minutes, to walk to the Kremlin. So I have arrived at the station of Revolution Square. Here the Red Square is within walking distance. Here we go for a walk and I'll show you everything. Friends, there are a lot of places for entertainment in Moscow where you can go. There is a huge number of different places and any day you can go anywhere you want. Red Square, the Oceanarium, so there is a lot of people walking around. Look. And by the way, Moscow is considered the second largest city in Europe after Istanbul. It's a day off and a lot of people go to the center of the city to walk on Red Square, and so do I. Right now we are at the Gum Fair, in the very center of Moscow on Red Square. This fair is set in period from New Year to February 28. Here you can buy souvenirs, drink coffee, eat. Take a look. We are now in the center, on Red Square, and the coolest fairgrounds in Moscow are set up in the center of the city. This fair is unbelievable. Take a look. People are walking on stilts like this. I'm going to buy a coffee for me, have a drink, enjoy the event, and then go on walking. The beloved fair opens each year from November 28 and will run through February 28. The fair and the skating rink create a real New Year's Eve fairy tale. Carousels for children and adults, magical houses with souvenirs, the central Christmas tree, all this appears on the Red Square. This year it was decided to decorate the fair and the rink as a style of gel. This original painting is considered a symbol of Russian ceramics and porcelain. It's called the most wintry ornament, so this painting was a great decoration of the fair. I feel like New Year's Eve was already here, but I still have the feeling that the New Year Eve is now. Everyone is out here right now, having fun with their kids. A gorgeous place, one of the best places to walk around with the family. Anything, you can go for a bite to eat, you can buy a souvenir, matryoshkas. There's absolutely everything here, look. It is the best square in the center of Moscow. Well friends, let's go on walking around Moscow. It's an interesting place, by the way. I'll tell you a little bit about it. There were many executions here during the reign of Ivan the Terrible. Now you will see the main tower of the Kremlin and St. Basil's Cathedral, which is officially called the Cathedral of the Protecting Veil of the Mother of God. Also, on this square are a lot of sightseeing buses. They offer tours. You pay for the ticket, not expensive, about $30. Get on the bus and they give you a sightseeing tour of Moscow, the center, historical sites, a full tour. It's very convenient, but I'll tell you about it in the next videos. Now I'll give you a general overview, so be sure to subscribe and you'll be aware of it. Look at this. We are now near St. Basil's Cathedral. This is a masterpiece of construction. Now I will tell you, and most importantly, now we hear the chimes beating. The most important tower. Can you hear it? And there, friends, lies Russia's oldest man. A little bit of historical background. Red Square, that's the main square in Moscow. On Red Square, in the frontal place are the monument to Minin and Pozharsky, Vladimir Lenin's mausoleum and the Kremlin wall. In the northern part of the square is the historical museum and Kazan Cathedral, and in the southern part of the square is the Intercession Cathedral. Now I'm at kilometer 0. Here is it. Here is where all the distances in Moscow are calculated from. And so, friends, we are now walking on the famous paving stones in Red Square. This majestic stone floor in its usual form appeared quite recently, or rather just 100 years ago. In the 30s of the 20th century, at that time, made a grand reconstruction of the entire area and built the Lenin Mausoleum. And here's another common misconception. The sidewalk made of granite, so that's not true, although it can compete with granite in durability. The stones called diabase are brought from the shores of Lake Ladoga from Karelia. These rare stones of magmatic origin were first brought to Moscow in 1924. All the stones were processed by hand and it took about 5 million pieces. After 50 years, in 1974, the pavement was replaced. So do not be surprised if in 4 years they will start to relay the Red Square. So let's hope they will not change it for a one-day tile. Now I went to the first gastronome in Moscow. It is the main grocery store in the city. There is an incredible selection for every taste. There is a wide variety of products and delicacies. The decoration of the shop windows and wooden cabinets, the glass juice cones, the saleswoman with a traditional white headdress, called kokoshnik sovetikus. This store was done in the traditional Soviet style. Even the names of the departments were pumped from the Soviet area. And luxury, and luxury, and luxury. Luxury astonishes even the visiting Russians, and nothing to say about the excitement of foreigners. This gastronomic kingdom of Belarus is also designed for tourists. That is why, if you don't know where to spend your free time in Moscow, visit the first gastronome in GUM, at least as a gastronomic museum. You can find everything here. Pastry shop, one of the best wine shops in Moscow, and a professional sommelier will help you to choose. Wine producers often come here from all over the world and leave their autographs on the new batch. In the fish section you can buy Kamchatka crab, cold shrimps and fresh oysters, everything for cooking, dairy products, fruit and vegetable section and much more. Just look at the variety on the shelves. Honey, beer of all kinds. Tea for every taste. Sanctions? No, we haven't heard about that. We see wines. We see a huge selection of wines for true gourmets, of red or white wine, or maybe you like sparkling champagne? What else do we see here? Canned goods, any kind of canned food for the most refined tastes. Eggs? Okay, I don't think you'd be surprised. The famous red caviar. Just look at the variety. Olive oil of every kind, every liter. What else? Let's move on. Sausages, smoked sausages, dairy sausages. There is so much, you can stop looking. I don't even know what to buy and what to eat. God, I'm even hungry. The cheeses, look what a variety of cheeses. Friends, what a beauty! Just a masterpiece. It's not just a mall, it's not just a store, just look at it. Just look at it. It's a huge, huge mall. It's a department store and you can walk around here practically all day. You can buy something or eat something, buy clothes. These are the young people hanging out. Friends, I'm walking around for the second time. I'm looking for a beautiful art gallery. They say it's very beautiful here. Look how beautiful it is. Even if I get lost, I can walk here forever and spend the whole day. There is absolutely everything here, from groceries to clothes, to an art gallery. to a movie theater. There's a big movie theater, which is very important. So I'll try to find it now and I'll show you. Wow, after a long search, after a very long search, I searched for about 20 minutes and finally found this gallery. Now we're going to go in and take a look at it. This gallery opened in April 2019, simultaneously with a large-scale GUM Red Line Festival of Modern Art. For 2 months, Muscovites and visitors to the capital had the opportunity to get an idea of modern Russian art through the work of the most famous and relevant artists. Friends, this is an awesome exhibition. There is absolutely everything here, so many interesting installations. Faces as in a computer download. Pay attention, there is a download. It is an interesting moment. I think everyone had such moments when you wake up in the morning and do not remember anything what happened yesterday. It's very interesting here. Look, I don't have a face. Great. The first artists presented in the new gallery were the exhibitors with whom the curators of GUM Red Line cooperated for 4 years during the existence of the project of modern art on the cover of the magazine. That's it, friends. In fact, with the onset of darkness, with the onset of evening, life begins to boil even more in Moscow. So they say Moscow never sleeps.
Я люблю тебя так же сильно, но есть другие предложения. Я верю в твое тело, но я сомневаюсь, что ты сможешь изменить положение. Чё? Смотри, теперь у нас каждый день как день рождения. Я все еще помню все твое, да я помню все. Не как ты сегодня, но ты полностью твое мнение. Ты приползла ко мне на стертых коленях. Больше не выпьешь ни единой капли. Ведь все больше не до безмозглая алкашня. Твои соцстереотипы, твоя сегодня, смотри на меня. Покажи мне тех новых двух, смотри на меня. Нет, покажи мне всех.
So friends, what a beauty. What a beauty. This is a very chic place. If you manage, be sure to come here. In general, I decided not to go home yet. I saw a beautiful exhibition right next to GUM. I went in and there are such installations, just look. It's very beautiful here. In Moscow you can't just go home. You have to go somewhere, there are so many different entertainments. I do not know, as for me it's necessary to go home only to sleep. And so, friends, Moscow is a charming modern city with a huge number of attractions and interesting places, from ancient fortresses and cathedrals to beautiful parks and modern skyscrapers. The capital of Russia has been around for about 19 centuries. On the streets you can find ancient monuments and palaces that coexist with Soviet architecture and modern buildings. But that's not the only thing the Moscow is famous for. The capital city has a great number of theaters, museums, galleries, and also excellent restaurants, cozy cafes, and trendy clubs. So Moscow is able to take a tourist and conquer the heart of everyone for a long time. Well, friends, today we took a walk in the center of Moscow. We took a walk on the Red Square, on the main square of Moscow, and now we took a walk on GUM. It's evening and you can see the buildings is lit up. I'm going to go home. You can subscribe to my channel and click the bell. I will be making more videos for you about life in Russia, about prices, about the pros and cons. And there will also be videos about just entertainment, where it's worth going and where it's not. Good luck to you all.